Now, the federal government says it has uncovered the identity of 15 entities, including 9 individuals and 6 bureau de change operators and firms allegedly involved in terrorism financing. Details of the development were revealed by the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit in an email sent to journalists entitled Destination of Individuals and Entities for March 18, 2024. The document revealed that the Nigeria Sanctions Committee met on March 18, 2024, where specific individuals and entities were recommended for sanction following their involvement in terrorism financing. According to the document, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, with the approval of the President, has thereupon designated the following individuals and entities to be listed on the Nigeria sanctions list. Among the individuals named in the document was a Kaduna-based publisher, Tucker Mamo, who is currently being tried by the federal government for allegedly aiding the terrorists who attacked the Abuja-Kaduna train in March 2022. According to the document, Mamo participated in the financing of terrorism by receiving and delivering ransom payments over the sum of $200,000 in support of ISWAP terrorists for the release of hostages of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack. The document said one of the individuals is the suspected attacker of the St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo, Ondo State, on June 5, 2022, and the Kuje Correctional Center, Abuja, on July 5, 2022. Another was described as a member of the terrorist group Ansaru Muslimina fi Bila Sudan. The group is associated with Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb. Another was identified as a senior commander of the Islamic State of West African Province, Okene. The agency said the individual came into limelight in 2012 as North Central Wing of Boko Haram. Another was described as a financial courier to ISWAP Okene. She is responsible for the disbursement of funds to the widows and wives of the terrorist fighters of the group. Let's take you to the National Assembly now. In the Red Chamber, the Senate on Tuesday passed for second reading the amendment to the Extradition Act 2004. In his lead debate, the Senate leader, Okoyemi Bamidele, explained that the amendment targeted Section 2, Subsection 1 and Section 7, Subsection 4 of the Act. He explained that in Section 2, the Act is amended to allow Nigeria to accede to extradition requests from countries with which Nigeria has signed an extradition treaty, as opposed to only Commonwealth countries, as is the case today. The present position of the Act applies only to countries within the Commonwealth and any other country with whom Nigeria establishes an extradition treaty or arrangement. According to the Senator, the proposed amendment in Section 7 of the Act is to properly set out the procedure for issuance of warrants of arrest for effective execution of extradition requests. Deputy Senate President Jubri Barau presided over the proceedings. The bill secured a majority voice vote and was referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Human Rights. Both the Senate and House of Representatives are working on the bill at the same time. Still in the Red Chamber, the Senate on Tuesday says it has mandated its committees on Army, Navy and Air Force to liaise with the military for a thorough investigation of the gruesome killings of 17 officers and men of the Nigerian Army in Okwama community, Bomadi local government area of Delta State. The 4 military officers and 13 soldiers were said to have gone to the Okwama community on a peacekeeping mission when they were slain by hoodlums last week Thursday.
In honoring the memories of the deceased military men of the 181 Amphibious Battalion, the Senate held a minute's silence for them but rejected a motion to do the same for civilian casualties. This was just as the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, who is from Akwa Ibom State, opined that the killers of the military men might be mercenaries from outside the Niger Delta. According to him, such killing was not in the character of the Niger Delta people.
Your additional prayer should actually be to carry out a thorough investigation to know whether these were mercenaries from outside Niger Delta who came in to commit this crime, because I don't think these people are Niger Deltans. We are not at war, even in a period of war, to lose such number of personnel. No community will go to the extent of doing this kind of thing. I don't think they are from Niger Delta. So I think the first point should be that we should first establish the culprits who committed this crime. We must take it seriously.
The Senate, in its resolutions taken on the incident, urged the federal government to apprehend the killers and bring them to justice. The Red Chamber also urged the federal government to extend the recruitment and training of more policemen to relieve the army from internal security matters. The Senate resolutions followed by separate motions sponsored by Senators Abdulaziz Yaradua, APC Castina Central, and Ede Dafinon, APC Delta Central, on the killing of 4 officers and 13 soldiers by ethnic militants in Okwomo Village, Ugeli South Local Government Area of Delta State. But Senator Dafinon is in his presentation said since the motion centered on the same issue, he would only propose an additional prayer of a minute's silence for innocent civilians killed. His proposal was, however, rejected by the Senate President, who said holding a minute's silence for civilian casualties or victims of collateral damages would come after a thorough investigation had been carried out on what led to the tragic and very embarrassing incident. Apparently buttressing the Senate President's position, Senator Sarah K. Dixon, PDP Bayelsa West, in his contribution said there was no need for moral equivalence at this time.
This development is very sad. So I'd like to join on behalf of the good people of my senatorial district. I'd like to join in condemning this terrible tragedy that has befallen our nation's military and our country by extension.
Troops of 181 Amphibious Battalion, while on a peace mission to Okwama community in Bomadi local government area of Delta State, were surrounded by some community youths and killed on Thursday 14th, 2024.
The Delta State Governor, Sheriff Obrevori, on Tuesday met with the President Bola Tinubu over the killing of 17 military men. The Delta State government, in a statement on Tuesday, condemned the incident, promising that perpetrators would be apprehended and made to face the wrath of the law. According to the statement, Obrevori visited the president in Abuja to brief him on the incident. After meeting behind closed doors with the president, Obrevori said the situation was under control, assuring that there will be no further attacks. The governor said he was in the Bomadi local government area on Monday for a security meeting to get a full briefing. Omolara Adebayo, reporting for iBrandTV News.
Well, away from the red chambers of the National Assembly now, let's take you to the green chamber, where some Southeast members, that's in the House of Representatives, led by Honorable Ikenga Ugochinyere, have called on President Bola Tinubu to invoke the relevant sections of the Constitution to discontinue the trial of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. This was as they said the dismissal of Kanu's bail application by the court was another major setback for the healing process and return of peace in the region. Justice Binta Nyako on Tuesday rejected Kanu's bail request and granted an accelerated hearing of the criminal case against Kanu. Speaking on behalf of other Southeast lawmakers who were in court, Ugochinyere stated that granting Kanu bail would have provided an opportunity to open doors for discussion to bring about peace in the Southeast. Meanwhile, Kanu on Tuesday urged the Federal High Court in Abuja to send him to Kuje prison rather than return him to the custody of the Department of State Services, where he had been since 2021. He alleged that the DSS had no medical facility to treat him, saying there was a plan for him to die in the DSS custody. Kanu spoke from the box after his bail application was declined by Justice Binta Nyako.